At this depth, the ship is a continent of rust.
Entry is never a door. Entry is damage.
The first rule is to not wake the silt.
A line is a promise you can keep.
Inside, the ship turns sound into warning.
This hallway once guided people to comfort.
Doors don't open here, they squeeze. Stopping is how you survive entrapment.
The safest route is the one that's least disturbed.
Crew spaces are the ship's true backbone. Sometimes a name is the whole artifact.
Open voids amplify drift and disorientation.
The wall is the compass.
When sight fails, the line becomes memory.
Directions survive as shapes, not meaning.
A cabin becomes a jar of silence.
Drawers trap stories when walls fail.
Time becomes a sealed object. Posture outlasts flesh. Leaving gently is part of entering gently.
Luggage is the autobiography people packed.
Some belongings survive as impressions.
Walls are safe than center floors.
Every hinge is a negotiation with time.
Touch is enough. Removal is a different risk. The floor is the trap because it moves. Sometimes the safest route is the one you make.
Force without patience becomes collapse.
Private rooms hide private objects.
The sea keeps value, but changes meaning. Sometimes the best preservation is leaving it where it rests.
The room kept its last occupant.
Back out the way you came every time.
Every opaling is a second world. Predators patrol wrecks like reefs.
Sometimes the safest move is none.
Hide first, navigate second.
If the sea blocks one path, take another.
Utility spaces are safer until they aren't.
The ship's vanes still map the route. Oval frames are where suits get trapped.
Hidden spaces keep small histories. The sea steals Shen first.
When metal talks, listen.
Grandeur becomes geometry down here. Some exits never opened. Panels don't fall fast until they do.
The wreck feeds the food chain.
The corridor becomes the safest room.
Clean floors usually mean less collapse.
The ship's vanes still lead somewhere.
Oval frames are where entrapment starts.
In a wreck, stopping is the first tool. Big rooms magnify small mistakes. Sometimes you make the doorway. Force in short steps, never in anger. Visibility is oxygen for navigation.
Cabins repeat, but each ends differently. Small boxes survive inside big disasters.
A locket is memory, even when empty.
The sea kept the outline of a life.
Public rooms draw you like gravity.
Bigger spaces mean bigger hazards.
Open voids involve drift and panic.
The wall is the compass when the room is too large.
In silt, the exit disappears first.
When sight fails, touch becomes direction.
Escape routes are usually the smaller openings. Smooth is fast here.
Openings attract life and hunters. Not every encounter is meant to be witnessed.
If it can see you, it can reach you.
Depth turns every shortcut into a lock.
Openly, yet only as much as you need.
Tight spaces demand slow breathing.
Vertical voids, steel orientation.
Down is easy. Up is survival.
Lower decks hold the ship's hidden work.
Big doors mean big consequences.
Never widen a gap if you can fit. Some rooms still feel crowded. Opening is easy. Preserving is hard.
Currents are invisible hands.
If the ship groans, load is shifting. Steel thickens where the ship worked hardest.
Machinery zones trap you faster.
Scale is the first danger.
Vibration means weakness.
Never stand where metal wants to drop.
Always leave yourself a second exit.
Open only what you can control.
Slow ascent beats sudden panic. Stillness is camouflage underwater.
Every centimeter is negotiated.
The ship compresses over time. Doors become traps. Service corridors still guide the ship's bones.
Oval frames catch the suit when you rush.
The pantry kept the ship's daily rituals. Luxury becomes scraps, but the labels survive. Big rooms demand small movements. This was spectacle. Now it is sediment. Meals left fingerprints in porcelain.
Clothing turns to threads. Posture stays.
Walls are maps when room become oceans.
Doors swing once, then they bite. Service spaces are full of sharp answers.
The work of feeding a ship ends in silence.
Even tools become artifacts when time is deep.
Flow turns rooms into blenders. Short force, long patience.
The safer route is usually the quieter one.
Open voids, steal your sense of up.
The wall is the compass.
Movement is what makes the cloud. In the dark, the line is memory.
Numbers outlast wood, clole, and pride.
Dust is the warning label.
Rooms shrink when they fill with time. Leather tells time by how it flakes.
The sea keeps the last posture.
Avoid the windows. Predators patrol the openings. Sometimes the safest light is the one you hide.
Open slow. Rooms exhale dust.
Hidden rooms keep quiet inventories.
Personal objects survive as fragments, not stories.
Sound means stress.
The wreck tells you when to leave.
Even ruins keep their architecture.
The wall is the only horizon.
Some finds are best left exactly where they slept.
When the ship spees, listen.
Noise is danger. Quiet is rue.
Small drawers hide big human details.
Metal survives. Mechanisms surrender.
Intent can outlast flesh. Leaving a room can be as delicate as entering.
The quieter corridor is usually the safer one.
Crew spaces show daily life, not ceremony.
Small labels survive where grand rooms collapse.
Oval frames are where entrapment starts.
Stopping is the first rescue tool.
Wet rooms rot into sharp rooms.
Some rooms dissolve faster than others.
Ordinary places keep the hardest endings.
The floor is the switch that turns blindness on.
Every overhead is a hook.
Open seams are windows for hunters.
Survival is choosing not to be seen.
Predators patrol edges, not sealed guts. Messages outlast machines only in imagination.
Fragments are the only signal left.
Work survives as metal, not motion.
Open water is never empty. Depth rewards caution, not curiosity.
Big voids make small mistakes fatal.
Not every path is meant to carry weight.
Measurement dies first in disaster.
Sound means move.
Returning upward is returning to human space.
Class differences fade. Loss does not.
A pocket's world becomes a handful of shapes.
Tight corridors become funnels for dander.
Openings are where the wreck meets the ocean.
Sometimes the best route is the one you abandon.
Interior routes reduce surprises. A hold is a cavern with a ceiling you can't trust. Holds punish careless fins.
Cargo becomes a puzzle of emptiness.
Trade leaves traces, not treasures.
The hold is where visibility goes to die.
Open water is where the ship ends.
Feeding draws followers.
Shelter is an interior choice.
Quiet corridors are the ship's last intact sentences. Big rooms invite drifting and disorientation.
Fragile objects fail if moved, not if seen.
The room kept one last guest.
Flow changes the rules of every room.
Leaving the interior changes risk, not danger. Outside, the ship becomes landscape. Edges invite watchers.
Patrol routes repeat. Wait them out.
Inside is safer when the ocean is active.
The ship's story is inside, not on the edge.
A door that opens is a door that collapses later.
Closed containers keep the best clues.
Memory survives as hardware.
Sea kept the outline of a life.
Leaving is part of respecting the wreck.
Exits are where mistakes happen.
Outside, the ship is a cliff.
Movement outside changes the whole deck's risk.
Wait for the ocean to finish its sentence.
A wreck teaches scale and silence.
Witness leaves. The ship stays.
Stillness prevents pursuit.
Leaving safely is the final disciplines.
Distance is the only closure the sea allows.
The ship stays. The witness leaves.